so you get those, you get those headlines. Let's just say you've written 50 headlines, for example. So you take the top 10. You take the top 10 headlines. Top 10 headlines. Then you sort of look through them and you're basically sort of going, how do I, and then you want to break them down and sort of think about them, and then you'll come down to a top 1 or 2, or you might even decide to split test, 4 or 5. Now, as you're coming up with the, or creating this these ideas for the headline, what you're also going to do is you're going to find that as you go along, there's going to be particular hooks that stand out. And what I like to do is I like to write down those hooks as they come to me. For example, now let's say I'm writing a headline for the weight loss niche. I'll write. I could come at it from an angle of, exercise isn't that important for weight loss. So I've got, exercise isn't that important for weight loss. So that's one particular angle. Then I've got another angle, which is a testimonial angle. So I've got a testimonial angle, which basically comes at it from a results. Results. I got this result. I got that result. From a story. Now there's another one, which is no cravings. This whole process, it gets rid of cravings. And then another one, which is it allows you to eat more. This particular eating process allows you to eat more and lose less. So you've got, another one might be, calorie counting doesn't work or something like that. So what you have, and what I'd encourage you to do is you come up. Let's say you're writing 5 headlines. 50 headlines. You come up with 5 specific angles, and then you create 10 headlines under each of those specific angles. Okay, so just off the top of my head, let's pick another industry. You can't see me, but I'm literally going to flick open the book of a directory I've got here, and we've got builders, renovations, and restorations. Okay, so let's imagine it's a builder. And let's look at the angles. Let's pick up 5 angles for a builder. Well, one is a testimonial, a success story from someone who actually got their house built by this particular builder. Another one is really looking at why the mistakes people make. So we could have an angle around the mistakes people make when choosing a builder. So we've got a testimonial, we've got the mistakes people make when choosing a builder. That's 1. That's 2. And then you could also have a renovations angle. So let's say you were looking to renovate a particular. You also did renovations, so you could focus in on renovations. You could have an angle. I'm just looking over. You could literally have an angle for an ad as well on a particular type of building. Like let's say you do a lot of bathrooms. Well, you could have a whole bathroom angle to your actual, you could have a headline just focusing on bathrooms and the benefits you can offer with bathrooms. And you could do that with literally a whole heap of things. Roofing, you could angle it, and you could look at, well, where's 80% of my work coming from? It's coming from renovations and bathrooms. Well, I'm going to have one ad for renovations, one for bathrooms, and you might say, we also get timber decks. So you have one for timber decks, and you have three different ads running, or you test 3 different specific angles that you can that you can do there. And you could also have one about your credibility. So you could have a credibility angle in there as well. Okay, so what you do then, you've come up with these 5 areas, and it can be 10 or it can be 20, but you want to create 50 headlines. So then what you do is for the testimonial, you might have you come up with 10 headlines. And I'll just give you a couple of examples. One could say, I called 10 builders, but I chose John because, and then X, Y, Z. So that's one headline. So as you can see, we're going through it, and then you my first house was a nightmare. My second was a dream. And the first house I built was a nightmare. The second was a dream because of XYZ builders. So as you can see, what we're doing here is we're basically just brainstorming this sort of thing. Another one could be why you should choose, or suburb. So your suburb resident reveals why you should choose XYZ builders to renovate your home. Okay, so these aren't necessarily the best headlines, but you're getting the idea. They're just coming off the top of my head. Boom, boom, boom. We've created 3 there. You go through and create 7 more for testimonials. You create 10 based around the mistakes theme, 10 based around the renovation theme, 10 based around the bathroom theme, and 10 based around the credibility theme. So the mistakes people make could be just simple. Free report reveals 7 mistakes people make when they build a home. It could be the 7 building traps which will cost you $1,000, which will cost you thousands. And then another one could be choosing a builder. So you could do like a comparison, choosing a builder without reading this report. Report is like a 16-year-old driving a car without any lessons. That's another thing you can do is compare it to something. Compare it to something, and that gives it a bit of flavour. So I think that's a better one. And then in brackets, it's bound to end in disaster. So you have that sort of so you can see what we've done here. We've done a little matrix, a 5 by 10 matrix, 5 hooks, and then coming up with 10 underneath all of those.
To help you get more customers, I'm giving away a free gift to everyone who watches this video. It's a brand new guide called 7 Ways to Get More Traffic and Customers, which includes a swag of cheat sheets for getting results fast. Download it for free by clicking the link in the description below this video or visiting moretrafficandcustomers.com.